This is Kyle McCord, and you're listening to Austin, Felix, and Matt on the Devy Debate.
Welcome to the Devy Debate. All right, boys. Are we ready to debate? Austin, you tweeted something, girl. You tweeted your running back rankings. Explain yourself.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast. Who jumped up and...
That's Austin Nace.
Who is going to be that guy? And for me, Bijan Robinson is still going to be that guy.
Back to the ground with Robinson, who spins and then tries to bounce it. A stiff arm, another one as he rides it, keeps his balance. They're going to say he stepped out, but
I'm Felix Sharp. I know you didn't think that we would get through this episode without mentioning the name one Zach F. Wilson.
Screener draw. Oh, Wilson is going to uncork for the end zone, and he drops it in beautifully. And it is his roommate, Dax Milne, on the touchdown.
That's Matt Bruning.
G. Scott Jr. Obviously, I waxed poetic about him on the last episode, so I won't do that again here.
And it's Dolphins Fields on the carry. Watch out. Justin Fields. Hello, Columbus. 51 yards.
Bruning, are you ready to go head-to-head with me?
I am.
Got to get my popcorn out here. Hold on.
Got to continue. I got it. Kyle McCord is going to end up winning the job. He's going to be rated higher.
Well, I'm not nearly as passionate about what I'm about to talk about.
Our apologies because Herb Street ran out of time. We'll get him rescheduled soon. And for Matt Bruning and Austin Nace, I'm Felix Sharp. Good night and good luck. It's 9:30 Eastern time, the only time zone that hits different. That means it's time for the Devy Debate, brought to you by CampusPan.com. That's Matt Bruning. Austin Nace is on a yacht with Mark Zuckerberg. I'm Felix Sharp on a windy version of tonight's show. We talk quarterback and wide receiver stacks to targeted C2Cs. Is a high school junior worth $8 million? And what can we learn from Jalen Wademeier's pro day performance? But we start with Tyreek Hill, traded to Miami just a few hours ago. Miami sends a 2022 first, a 2022 second, 2022 fourth, and 2023 picks of the fourth round and sixth round. Chris Moxley, what was your reaction to this news?
I think it's a bad trade by Miami. I don't think that they are ready to compete quite yet. I think that they are more than a Tyreek Hill away. They're not going to win the division. Buffalo is clearly a better team than them as it stands. I think they're probably better than the Patriots, but are they a top 7 or 8 team in the AFC? Probably not. They're paying market value for a wide receiver, and then they're also paying a first and a second and a whole bunch of other picks. It just feels wrong for Miami to be the one that's in on this. It doesn't make sense. The Jets were the other team. Same deal. I didn't like either team being in on this. Tyreek Hill is a good player, but he's hitting the AJ packs.
So I actually like the Jets offer because the Jets didn't offer a first round pick. And so it didn't seem like they were giving up their entire future with the Dolphins. I mean, they're throwing everything, at least this year, into Tyreek Hill, which is fine. But like you said, I don't think that they're a Tyreek Hill of being away from being a contender. I mean, you've got the whole AFC, the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Chargers. I mean, are they going to be able to get through those teams? And I don't know. This team wasn't committed to Tua Tagovailoa, and now they're building around him. I mean, it seems like there is some disconnect in the vision for this franchise, and they're making decisions somewhat on the whim. So it feels like a splashy move, but not substantive. Not substantive. The only thing that's going to move the needle for this team is the development of Tua Tagovailoa. Now, to be fair, we have recently seen some of the slower quarterback developments that have been buoyed by some sort of change. I'm thinking specifically about Jared Goff. He was under Jeff Fisher. Sean McVay comes in, and he kind of has, those couple of years under that system where he's a really good fantasy quarterback. Same for Josh Allen, very toolsy but inaccurate player. Then all of a sudden he gets Stephon Diggs, and he's accurate. Could this be that type of move where we see the best of Tua with Tyreek Hill added to the fold? I mean, it's a very good set of skill position players. They added Raheem Mostert, they added Chase Edmonds, and you've got Mike Gesicki there at the tight end. I mean, they might have the best skill positions in the AFC East. Are they in the AFC East with New England and New York? Anyway, it's just, Matt, I was a bit confused, though, because this is a push all your chips in type move, and they don't seem to have a really good hand.
Yeah, I completely disagree with both of you. And I was not really a big fan of this trade when I first saw it go down. I mean, they're not giving up their future. They gave up their first and second this year. They still have a first-round pick. They did not trade the Rams pick, so they still keep a first. They signed Teron Armstead, so they just improved their offensive line. Now, it doesn't make as much sense compared to all of the other wide receivers they brought in earlier and some of the players that they paid, but they then gave up 2 fourths and a sixth. How often do fourth-round players and sixth-round players really stay on your roster? Not often if you didn't draft well. So I don't really have an issue with them giving up a first and a second and then paying Tyreek Hill. You got to say that they're far away from making it. They missed the playoffs by 1 game last year. 1 game on a team that, according to everything now, while I still think Brian Flores is a good coach, there was a lot of issues with Brian Flores there, with his coaching staff, all that stuff. Now they bring in a guy from the Kyle Shanahan tree, Mike McDaniel. They bring in Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert. They're going to be a run-first team, which I think helps Tua, because I think Tua is a tad bit overrated, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't know that this is – I think they're pushing all their chips in to find out, is Tua really going to be the guy? Like, Tua can't fail now. If Tua fails, he's gone. But you've got 2 guys now who come from the Kyle Shanahan tree where they use like
Hold on, let me stop you real quick. How is he going to be gone? I mean, they're not going to be able to draft. Are they going to draft a quarterback next year? I mean, they've traded away. They didn't
give up their first-round pick.
They didn't give up their first-round pick for 2023, but are they going to have like a top 10-ish pick where they can go ahead and take Bryce Young or CJ Stroud? All it takes is for you to
trade a couple first-round picks to move up. We don't know where they're going to be. I mean, and there's also going to be quarterbacks who go on the market. Like, we're sitting here talking about how nobody expected, what are we going to do with this rookie class? Because we're going to have so many quarterback openings. Now there's like almost no quarterback openings because all these players have moved around. Like, what happens if a Jimmy G ends up there next year? Like, I'm not saying that Tua is going to be bad. I'm saying they're pushing their chips on and saying, hey, we're getting you all these weapons. You've got to prove it now. You've got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, who are extremely diversive as well. Like, everybody assumes Tyreek Hill is this deep threat, but I believe his ADOT was like 8 yards. He's not going that far down the field. We think that because of how deep Patrick Mahomes bombs the ball to him. Mike McDaniel comes from a very innovative offensive group, I'll say, because we've seen it work out with Zach Taylor at Cincinnati now this past year. He's learned under Kyle Shanahan. He's worked with Sean McVay. Kyle Shanahan credits him with how good that run game has been. That's why I think they're going to be more of a run-heavy team. But then you bring in a guy like Tyreek Hill, who, let's just be honest, is a game changer. He is. I agree with Moxley. He's hitting that age apex, and I don't know exactly how long the deal is. I don't know if I'd have paid him for more than 3 or 4 years. I would not have paid him as the best wide receiver in the league either. In my opinion, that's Devontae Adams, but whatever. You did it. You went all in on him, but now you've got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, and then those running backs with an improved offensive line on a team with a good defense that all literally missed the playoffs by 1 game last year with a new offense, which I think was a big issue last year, was their offense. So I don't think it was a bad trade at all. I think it was a good trade for what they gave up. Again, realistically, when I look at the trade, the first and second round pick this year, the only picks that I think are any consequence for the Dolphins, and they still kept their other first round pick. So they can still grab a high-end player at the back end of the first round. So they get a guy, help improve that offense. Like, I don't think it's a bad team. And the one thing I will say, yeah, that's right, Baker is retiring. Hey, he might be going to your Steelers here, Austin, not to break off topic. I'm going to have to become a Steelers fan. I agree that I think the Bills are the best team in the AFC East team. I am a little worried about what that team is going to be now that Daboll is gone, because Josh Allen was not Josh Allen before Daboll got there. And now they've got Ken Dorsey, who has never called plays before. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying the Bills are going to fall off a cliff. They're still the best team in the AFC East, but I do think the Dolphins can compete and win a playoff spot.
I think you're right in that you're giving up a first and a second round pick. Who cares about the other ones? You're giving a first and second round pick for Tyreek Hill. If you're going to draft a wide receiver anyway, why not go get one of the 5 best wide receivers in the NFL? But it just doesn't feel like this team is a Tyreek Hill away. It feels like they still need to figure out the quarterback position. And I just don't buy that they're building this team around Tua Tagovailoa and they're just going to take it away from him next year and throw somebody else in there who's this is built to win now. So it's not going to be a rookie that gets you across that bridge, and you're not going to be able to trade for some elite quarterback next year. At least I don't foresee that. So it's just, I don't know. I've got questions about this one. Chris, there are there are a lot we could talk about this particular trade the entire show. We're not going to do that. But, we got to talk about the Chiefs in their Super Bowl window, because they are perennially, at least since Patrick Mahomes has been there, a favorite when you're considering Super Bowl odds. This feels like it chips away at that a little bit, especially when you consider the strength of that division.
Yeah, it does. But, anytime Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback, you're probably okay. I think that they will draft a wide receiver with the 29th or 30th pick this year, which they hold both of now. And is that wide receiver going to come in and be a game breaker day one? Probably not. They still have Travis Kelce. I think they have enough there to continue being a dynamic offense. And the window is open as long as you have Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion. I'm not necessarily worried about the Chiefs. And I know Andy Reid is the type of coach who invests in the system and the quarterback and says, hey, anybody can succeed here. Whether or not that's true, I don't necessarily subscribe to that idea as well. But that's what Andy Reid believes. And Andy Reid thinks that Tyreek Hill was just a cog in the system. Obviously he was talented, but they can find someone else to replace him. At least Reid thinks so. So we'll see. But I'm not willing to write the Chiefs off yet. And I don't think it's a huge step back until I actually see it affect them on the field.
This is all I'm going to say in response to that. When you have Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce, that's really scary. When you have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, that doesn't feel. You can really concentrate your defense to stop Travis Kelce. It doesn't seem, Tyreek Hill adds a whole nother dimension. He's essentially Randy Moss of this generation. So let's see what they do. I don't think that they're going to add a Randy Moss level talent in the draft or via trade, but I could be wrong. From Tyreek Hill making his money to a high schooler making his. Nico Imalaeva is a 5-star quarterback from Long Beach Poly in California. He is the 3rd-ranked quarterback according to the 24/7 ranking, behind Arch Manning and Malachi Nelson. Now, this has not been confirmed, but there is a report from The Athletic, I believe it was dated March 12th, where a high schooler signed an NIL deal tied specifically to a school for $8 million through the player's junior year. And that included a signing bonus of $350,000. And it is believed that player is Nico Imalaeva. Just to give you a sense of this, he's going to Tennessee. I don't know if I said that. He's going to Tennessee. He is sort of a string beanish, tall, 6'6", 210-pound gunslinger who has some mobility. He's able to do it, but it seems like he prefers to sit in the pocket and throw the ball all over the place. Now, he was at Long Beach Poly as a freshman and then transferred schools and is going back to Long Beach Poly for his senior year. And Chris and Matt, we can talk about Nico, but I really want to talk about the fact that we're at this point where we are not going to act like college football isn't a business. We're going to just put it out there. You have a kid. He's not even the best quarterback in his class, signs an $8 million deal what could Arch Manning be worth if he got full market value? Money's going to the players. Money is going to start circling around everything in college football. Well, let me stop there. What are your thoughts about Nico Imalaeva, the contract, his commitment to Tennessee?
So I don't know a lot about him as a player. So I'm not going to act like I have a great understanding. I know Austin isn't a huge fan. I know some of the recruiting folks at 24/7 really like him. They think that he has really great arm talent. I'm not going to pretend I know anything about this. So I'm taking the same approach that you are, Felix, of just like, I don't want to talk about Nico exactly. But I want to talk about the deal itself. And I want to talk about a couple other aspects of this. I actually think this is really, really interesting. So this is categorically different than any other deals that have been signed in the NIL era. So like most are brand partnerships, right? We see Caleb Williams and his deal with Beats by Dre. We see DJ U and his deal with Pepsi. Sam Howell signed a deal with Bojangles, etc. So these are deals with brands that the players are making themselves. This is different. This hands over his exclusive NIL rights to the NIL collective at Tennessee. So unless I'm mistaken, this is the first time that we've seen a player basically hand over their rights. And this is kind of similar to how you sign like a contract in the music industry, like handing over your rights and you say, okay, you have to do XYZ sort of thing for us. And for Imalaeva, this is like appearances and signings and all that sort of thing. So there's an agreement that he has with the NIL collective at Tennessee. So he's allowed to start accepting money, like you said, Felix, because he's in the state of California. State of California is really the only place that allows you to do that. $350K at signing. And so he has that money. And this deal is interesting because I believe this deal prevents him from signing or going elsewhere, because if he goes to another school, the agreement that they have as the collective would basically be bunk, because he wouldn't be able to advertise and promote for the other school. So we're bordering on inducement, and inducement is the dirty word for the NCAA, because you don't want to. It's not like pay for play, but it's damn close. And so this isn't quite that, but it's certainly very close. The second portion of this, and I think that's really interesting, is that I think Nico Imalaeva is underpaid. I think $8 million to sign away your NIL rights is like way too little. I think he should. I think he should.
It's the most though, Chris. It's the most that someone signed for up to this point.
And he signed it. So Bryce Young had that whole, he has $1 million in worth in NIL before he even played. I think Bryce Young's making more than that as we sit here right now. We'll never know because a lot of these deals are private. But $8 million to sign away the entirety of your NIL rights feels really cheap, because you think about this in history, right? What if he hits? Like, what if he is a 5-star quarterback who is very productive and becomes a first-round player? That to your university is worth a lot more than $8 million. So we saw the Johnny Manziel effect, right? Texas A&M raised $740 million during the Johnny football season, which was $300 million more than they had ever raised in a single calendar year. So Johnny Manziel is worth like $300 million to Texas A&M, right? Tank for Tua, LSU media coverage, all of for the Joe Burrow season. All of these players have generated so much more than $8 million to the university. So if I'm an NIL collective, I'm willing to spend $8 million and say, hey, maybe this works. But if it doesn't, that's okay, because the next time a 5-star comes around, we'll just pay him again, because the odds that your 5-star that gets drafted into the NFL is a productive player and provides value to the university is way more than $8 million. And I actually think Arch Manning should be asking for $50 million, $75 million. Like, I think that's where Arch Manning's ask should be. I'm not sure he gets it or he even wants it, but that's where Arch Manning should start out, because $8 million is way too cheap for a 5-star quarterback.
You know what's crazy, and Matt, you can answer this question, is college does not have a salary cap. And so you're absolutely right in that if Nico Imalaeva is worth $8 million, then what is Arch Manning worth if he asked for a max dollar? I think $50 million is reasonable. And we could get, if there is no regulation implemented here, we're going to get to the point where you make more money in college than you do as a first-round NFL draft pick, Matthew.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get $50 million. But I do think he's probably going in anywhere that's talking to him and saying, like, 8 is my baseline.
He could ask for it.
That's
he could
the
command
least.
that amount.
No, I'm not saying he can't ask for it. I'm just saying he's not going to get it. But I think he's definitely going in and saying, hey, like, if Nico just got 8 from Tennessee, I want at least 10 to prove that he's the number one guy in the class. Like,
I'm not saying he's not going to ask 25 minimum.
He can ask for whatever he wants. I'm not saying that he can't. I'm not saying he has to ask for 10. I'm saying he's going to go in there and say the lowest I'm taking is whatever. It's not going to be less than $8 million. He's not taking less than Nico.
He gets 20 plus from Texas.
All we're saying here is that if these NIL deals measure the market value of a particular player, and if Nico Imalaeva is worth $8 million, Arch Manning is worth more than $10 million.
I'm not saying he's not. Like, good God, you guys don't listen when I talk. I'm saying he's going to at least say he's going to get at least $10 million. He's not taking 8 or less because of what Nico got. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not going to go and ask for 25. I don't give a fuck if he walks into Texas' front door and say, give me $100 million. He can ask for whatever the hell he wants. Doesn't mean he's going to get it. Secondly, I think we're going down a very slippery slope now with this. And I do think the NCAA is eventually going to step in now with the way this is working. With what Chris said about Nico, he's 100% right on. He's likely going to be underpaid if he hits. But that's a big if. Because if he doesn't, now, the $8 million doesn't matter at all to Tennessee. That's probably chump change to most of that NIL collective. But if he doesn't hit, like, that's at least good money for Nico, I think, to be set up because he may not end up getting drafted. So I like that part of it for him. But I think the NCAA is going to eventually cap this in some way. There's no way they're going to let this keep going this way. I think we're literally about to see this, like, I can't remember what you just said, Felix. I was going to try and compare it to like what minor leagues are now in some of these, like basketball. It's got the G League, MLB with AA, AAA. I think that we're going to see stuff like this right now. Like Tennessee, what do we consider them? Moxley, you're a big baseball fan. They'd be like a 2A school, like a AA team. And they're not AAA. So like a AA team right now.
Yeah.
So like if Nico ends up hitting, and say he becomes like the best prospect, because there are people who think that there are 24/7 sports people who think he's the number 1 rated quarterback in this class. So if he ends up hitting and becoming that, does Alabama come in and say, like you said, he can't go to another school, right? Because that's the end. So does Alabama come in and pay a buyout and then get him to go to Alabama and pay him more money? So then he's like moving up. Like, I think that's realistically where we're going to see things going if they don't put a cap on this. So, and I don't have an issue if they do or don't. Like, if they don't, great, go get their money. Felix can say whatever I want about communists. I'm just being realistic. Arch Manning's not getting $50 million a year.
Market suppression. I love market suppression. Let's do all the regulation. Let's put a cap on it. Let's not give these players let's not let the market compete for these players' talents because we don't like free markets here in America. And I agree with you, Matthew. I agree with you.
How much do y'all think Arch Manning's NIL deal is next year? Because I think there's a good case that it's over 20 million if that is the path that he wants to pursue.
Right. And he's a man. So Arch Manning probably isn't the right player for this particular role. If this was Cam Newton coming out as a high school prospect and he was in the NIL era, I feel like we would see what the max value is. But Arch Manning, he's got his money. He's a Manning. He's essentially football royalty. I don't know that he's the best for this. So, and that is what Austin's suggestion has been, is that Arch Manning is not going to look to break the bank and he'll take something less. And Austin says he thinks he's going to go to Texas, which, if his objective is to go to the place that prepares him best for the NFL, probably doesn't get much better than that. All right. I feel like we're losing the audience with this talk about a player that they've never heard, but it's interesting because this is what I want to say. Josh Pate on Late Kick last night talked about the brands for universities being bigger than the brands of these individuals, and that being a factor contributing to why college fantasy football is not played on a wider spectrum. If you start getting college kids in Subway commercials, driving Lincolns in commercials, if you see them, becoming saying, "I'm going to Disney World," those profiles are going to get a lot bigger. And I mean, there's money circling everything here. Why wouldn't everything in college football? I just think that it's a natural progression for fantasy to eventually get into the game because there's money to be made there. It's an untapped market, as Josh said yesterday. All right. Anything else on this one? That was good.
No, I agree with your last point. And we've seen this over time. Players are bigger than their school. Tebow, Manziel, Burrow, when he was at LSU. This is not a new thing. You just need to hit it at the right time.
All right. Who's going to make more money next year, Matthew? Is it Nico Imalaeva or Jalen Watermeyer?
Probably Nico with Watermeyer's pro day.
That was me handing you the subject of the next topic.
Hey, look, you said that you wanted to throw it to Chris Moxley. If we're just
did I say that?
Yeah, you wanted to throw everything to Moxley today in our text messages. So I'm just sitting here, and whenever you want me to talk, you just say, "Hey, Matt, we're glad that you joined us. You have anything you want to say, and I'll just jump in."
Let's just have a show meeting right here. And the reason for that is because when I send text messages late in the day when we're getting ready for the show, Moxley is the only one who responds, and Moxley is the only one who I can tell actually looked at the show sheet and is adding notes.
So let's just throw this up here. First of all, you meant to say shell show sheet. You said shill show sheet. And then only person who responded to you was a guy named Matt Bruning. I don't know him, but he sounds like a phenomenal dude who said, "How many stacks do you want us to do?" I always do my notes on a different sheet because you and Moxley fill up 8 pages of notes. And I don't want to get confused, so I put my notes on my own little page so I can go in and find them and I don't get confused. And then literally the next person to respond was you hours later and was like, "Hey, Moxley, I'm going to throw it to you for housekeeping. Hey, Moxley, I'm going to throw it to you for Widermeyer. Hey, Moxley, I'm going to throw it to you to Tyreek." I was like, okay,
I don't hear Devy Kane and Shane Hallam doing this on the marketplace. This is why we'll never get anywhere.
I've never heard this in Denver Royale.
I only do this because it's fun. I'm not trying to make this a job.
It's not fun. It's not fun because you're wearing those colors. That's why.
Yeah, I'm having a bad time, man.
Let's all right. So the news cycle is fast and things become old really, really quickly. But let's not forget that Jalen Watermeyer ran a 5.03 40-yard dash on Tuesday. Considered the number one tight end for a lot of Devy analysts out there. Probably not even draftable now. It really reminds me of Michael Roberts. If folks remember Michael Roberts coming out of Toledo with Kareem Hunt, Deontay Johnson. I believe they were on the same team. Chris, I'm not going to say because I don't think that we were very high on Jalen Watermeyer collectively as a company. But does the Devy community's misevaluation of Jalen Watermeyer at all inform our evaluation, or should it inform our evaluation of Michael Mayer or Brock Bowers, the consensus number 1 and number 2 tight ends now?
So I thought about this because I drafted Jalen Watermeyer last year, and I think there are 3 takeaways from his profile that we can adopt when looking at tight ends or just players really in the future. One is maybe not valuing players that are closer to the NFL, like way more than we do players who are just better. I think that applies to Michael Mayer in this instance. A lot of people had him tight end 1 over Mayer. I think that was a mistake. Mayer was clearly the better player, more athletic in a lot of and just productive in the context of the Notre Dame offense that has produced better players over time. Second is ignoring athleticism, especially the tight end position. Like, that's a really tough thing to do. He never looked athletic on film. I don't think he's a 5'03" guy. I really, really don't. Like, I think he's closer to like a 4'8" guy. That's what he ran, but he never looked athletic. He was never a plus athlete.
Not only did he not look athletic, but you could never find verified testing for him. Even in the Devy Watch guide last year, they noted, he's good, but you can't find any verified testing for him.
No, you couldn't. And even I was reading the 24/7 profile for him earlier today, and Gabe Brooks said he's stiff through the hips and core and takes forever to build up momentum. That is Jalen Weidermeyer to a T. Like, he is not an athletic player. The third portion is he had like pretty well documented character issues. And I wonder if that led to this really poor testing of being like, hey, I'm just really good. I don't need to prepare. Because a 25.5 vertical and a 5.03 40 time, like, that's a dude who just came in unprepared at all. So I really wonder if that's a small portion of it, because it was something that was well documented. So I don't really care how it applies to a guy like Michael Mayer, who has a verified 4.7 on his resume as a high schooler. I think he compares well. Like, I don't want to say this, but like, I think he plays similarly to Gronk, like maybe a light version of Gronk. And like, Gronk ran a 4.73, so like that doesn't bother me. Brock Bears has a verified 4.5 40. Like, those are very categorically different players who apparently do not have, as far as I can tell, any character concerns, the same way that there were very well documented things about Weidermeyer. And there are just a couple takeaways from that whole saga, I guess.
I agree. Michael Mayer's short area quickness for being 240, 245 pounds is outstanding. I don't necessarily care if he has long speed, but he is that big and he moves like a wide receiver. I asked on Twitter, I posted the poll on the Devy debate poll, do you think that Michael Mayer is going to go in 2023, pick 20 or earlier, or pick 21 or later? And I think that poll came back as the majority of folks saying that he is going to be a top 20 pick. That's what I believe. I think that he is an outstanding athlete. And you have to be an outstanding athlete at that position. Julius Thomas, Rob Gronkowski. To be good, you have to. You could be a sub-athlete.
I agree. Do you think that Michael Mayer is a plus athlete? Because I think he's a good athlete. I don't think he's great.
Well, I mean, what's great? I mean, I don't think he's I'm not saying he's Noah Fant, but I think he's like Travis Kelce.
His high school testing was underwhelming, to be honest. Like, he was 235, 6'4" and like a half in high school, I think. It was underwhelming. He has like a 34.5-inch vertical. He has like a 4.8 40. Like, it's not spectacular. I think he's a better athlete than his testing showed. So I'm really curious to see. But like, I don't think he's in the Kyle Pitts. I think Brock Bowers is a much better athlete than he is. I'm not worried necessarily, but I think he's like an average athlete. Like, I don't think he's a great athlete. I think he's just like average, which is passable considering how good I think he is in so many other areas of the game. But like, I don't think he's going to impress. I think he's like a 50th percentile athlete, which is
Austin is backseat driving from the comment section, adding that no, Michael Mayer is not a great athlete. He also said that we peeled the curtain back too much when we were arguing about the show sheet, and Matthew, saying it. So you can let us know at Devy Debate. Did we peel the curtain back too much, or is Austin whatever? All right. I'll be interested to see how Michael Mayer tests, because I do think that he moves very well laterally for a 245-pound tight end. I think he runs well too for being a player that size. Matthew, did you have anything you wanted to add on Weidermeyer?
No, go ahead. Go to housekeeping.
All right, Moxley. Housekeeping is all you.
I prepared today. Couple things that we want to touch on. First is the website. On Pi Day 314, we launched a brand new website, kept all of our same tools, added a whole bunch of new content, stuff like college fantasy football ADP and rankings, Devy ADP and rankings, in addition to some more goodies from Jarek. That includes rush yards over expected tool, which is really, really interesting to compare running backs over the course of time and how they perform in terms of the situation. We've also released 3 different membership tiers, and this is important because between now and the end of the month, April 1st, if you sign up for a yearly walk-on membership, which is our tier 1, you're grandfathered into the scholarship membership, which is tier 2. This gives you access to all of our tools. ADP ranks. It's a $20 savings that you get if you sign up in the next 7 days. This also gives you access to our freshman guide and clearly access to the Discord. And the Discord is going to be bumping tomorrow. So it's important that you prioritize this, because Matt's going to be on and Felix is going to be on. And if I have it right, I think Felix is going to be talking about Will Levis tape?
Yeah. So yeah, tomorrow at 9:30 in the Discord, if you're a member of the Campus to Canton, we're going to be doing a film breakdown of Will Levis to see his strengths and weaknesses. We got some all 22 films, so we're going to be taking a look at Will Levis. I wanted to do this anyway, and I just figured, hey, why not do it for our Discord members? So it's only for members. So if you want to participate in that, you got to be a member, sign up for the website. And Matt is the lead in. He's got something going too tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just doing an AMA tomorrow like Austin did. 20, 30 minutes leading into Felix's film session with Will Levis. We'll talk whatever you guys want to talk about. The goal was to, because we got a bunch of soccer fans in there, talk soccer, but then Felix decided he wanted to come in and hijack my night, so I'll be cutting it short so that we can all go watch some film on Will Levis before USA plays Mexico.
Yeah, and that'll be a lot of fun because a lot of people think that Will Levis has first round potential. So I'm really excited to see what Felix thinks of his film and really the ups and downs. So a couple more things before we transition to the next topic. Our YouTube page for the same period, but 441. If you subscribe to our YouTube page and you send a DM to the Campus Canton Twitter account, you'll be entered into a drawing for a signed Keishon Boutte jersey. If you're listening and you're not subscribed, hit that button. Like our videos. It helps us build the brand, and we're delivering a whole bunch of different daily content. The stuff that we're putting out here on the YouTube is truly incredible. Rate and review the damn show. I am tired of y'all being freeloaders. If you're listening right now and you've never reviewed the show, that is what you are. You are a freeloader, and you got to start paying rent. And your rent comes in terms of a review on Apple Podcast, Stitcher Podcast. Well, I don't care. Wherever you listen, you got to give us a rate and review. Same idea as the YouTube page. It helps us grow the brand. And y'all are all interested in college fantasy football. You're all interested in C2C. If you're interested in this brand growing, you got to hit us up with a rate and review. I'm tired of y'all listening. Our numbers that people listen to does not equal the number of views that we've had on this page. Get it together. Last portion, I'll throw it over to Felix. If he wants to elaborate on the Josh Pate college fantasy football thing more, I think it's really interesting what he talked about this week in terms of the gaps that we're having, or the stuff that we're talking about in terms of what the gaps and challenges, but also opportunities are for college fantasy football. Do you want to talk any more about that, Felix?
No, I covered it. First of all, let me just say I was terrified when you were yelling at me about the rates, and that's as strong. I mean, I don't think Austin could even come close to, if he tried, to be as terrifying as that was. So good job there. But no, I think we already talked about the Josh Pate's quotes about investing in college football and it being an untapped market. But that's why we're here. That's why Campus to Canton is here. All right, let's move on. We're going to talk about quarterback, wide receiver stacks that we are interested in C2Cs. And we tried to go, I mean, we could say, Xavier Worthy and Quinn Ewers, but that's kind of obvious. We could say Jackson Smith and Jigba and CJ Stroud. That's obvious too. But we tried to go a little bit off the radar. This is the thing. So Mike Valerie complains about this show being college football debate and not Devy debate. In my opinion, Devy is 5 rounds. That's 60-something players that you could talk about. We'd be talking about the same 60 players. We wouldn't have a segment right here if we were just going to talk. We would just be talking about the same players all the time. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Tyler Van Dyke, Anthony Richardson. Caleb Boyd. We'd be talking about the same guys over and over again. So we are trying to go off the beaten path a little bit and to give you guys some stacks that we are targeting in C2C. So I'm sorry, Mike, this being college football debate and not Devy debate. So go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I get to go first. I get to talk a lot.
Oh, did you want me to go first? I can go first.
No, I'm getting thrown the question. I'll take it. I don't care. I just like to be noticed. The first one is a stack that these are 2 players that I've talked about on this show a lot. And I actually think it's really important to basically just keep hammering home the point, because I don't think that the Campus Canton ADP and Devy ADP really reflect the potential of this offense. And that is the Washington State offense. And the stack that I've chosen is Cameron Ward and wide receiver Deshaun Stripling, who is a true sophomore heading into this season. They brought in Eric Morris, who was the head coach at Incarnate Ward. He'll be the offensive coordinator under head coach Jake Dickert. This is what ICW did last season. They ran 2.73 plays per minute. That would have tied Wake Forest for 4th nationally in terms of number of plays per minute. They're not 597 pass attempts would have ranked 3rd nationally. I am pushing all of my chips in to get pieces of this offense. And even if I don't get Stribling, who I think will operate as wide receiver 1, I will still be taking a last round dart throw on a guy like Donovan Ollie. I will still be taking a last round dart throw on a guy like Renard Bell, who he's hurt during spring, but I don't particularly care. Like, I still think he'll be productive. This is the best chance that anyone has at recreating a 2022 version of the Western Kentucky offense led by Bailey Zappi and Jareth Stearns. You have to get in now if you are interested. That is my opinion on this offense. It has immense upside.
We are pushing Cameron Ward's value so far up, but I think it's warranted. I really do. I mean, I think that he is a potential first-round NFL draft pick either next year or the following year. Matt, do you want me to go second, or do you got yours?
It is up to you. I've got 3 stacks ready to go. So
I don't care. I've got 3 stacks. I took notes during the show, so I'm ready.
Always during the show. Okay, I can go next. So mine, I wasn't really sure how deep we wanted to go here, so I tried to go for guys that aren't being drafted early. My first stack is the Colorado State, Clay Millen, and either Torrey Horton or Dante Wright. Jay Norvell has a 58.2 passing success rate and a 63.2 passing in neutral situations. He has had 2 of the highest top 30 offenses in pass rate per team since 2018. That was Nevada's offense last year in 2021, which ranked 6th, and in 2020, which ranked 27th. They only play 2 good defenses this year, which is Michigan, which I believe is the first game of the season, and then San Jose State, which is the 3rd or 4th game at the end of the season. Right now, Clay Millen, Austin's guy, is going off the board as QB 65 with an ADP of 218.8. And then you can get Torrey Horton and Dante Wright very late as well. Torrey Horton, wide receiver 108 with an ADP of 198, and Dante Wright, wide receiver 112 with an ADP of 200. When you go look at what Carson Strong was able to do in this Nevada offense, which is, in my opinion, technically what he is bringing over to Colorado State, you go back and look the last 2 years, like he was averaging 30-plus points a game. Very rarely did he not get less than 20 points a game. Like, Carson Strong lit it up, and I don't think that them at Colorado State are going to play quite the competition that Carson Strong did at times. So I think this is a group of guys that you can get very late in your C2C drafts that all have a chance of being like top 24 at their position. And in most of these C2C leagues being super flex, I think having a quarterback like that is good. I honestly think Clay Millen could go as high as QB 15. And so being able to get him as quarterback, whatever that was, 65 off the board, I think is an absolute steal.
I got to give you credit on that one, Matthew, because that's a situation I've been paying attention to, and I have not heard anyone.
I'm out. Thank you, guys. Great show.
I have not heard anyone tout Clay Millen in his move to not this year, not last year. I've heard no one tout Clay Millen. So if Clay Millen goes off, I want everyone to please give Matthew Bruning credit for that one. This is the first time that I've heard it, and that's the first time that anyone's heard it, quite frankly. So please give Matthew.
That's a really good call. That I haven't heard that either. I think that you're really digging deep for that one.
No one has. No one has. I haven't even heard the name Clay Millen until Matthew brought it up right there. So make sure you give Matthew credit if Clay Millen goes off. I'm going to go with Aiden O'Connell, the Purdue team. And so the stat could be Milton Wright, Elijah Kanan, Tyrone Tracy. That wide receiver core, if Kanan can be what we saw in that bowl game at the end of his freshman season, I think it could be really dynamic. I really liked Tyrone Tracy after his freshman year. He's kind of a slot wide receiver, running back, wide receiver hybrid type. He's going to be in the slot. Milton Wright and Elijah Kanan going to be on the outside. Aiden O'Connell was top 15 in passing yards, top 15 in attempts, top 20 in QB rating. And Purdue has traditionally been a team that is pass heavy. Jeff and Brian Brom handled the offensive coordinator. Brian Brom, who used to play for U of L, for U of L, was drafted by the Packers. He's the co-offensive coordinator there. The Browns have had the fourth heaviest pass rate since 2003 behind Mike Leach, Tyson Helton, and June Jones. So that's a stack that you can buy into. It was already really good last year, and now David Bell is going to be gone. Milton Wright had a 300-yard game last year. All of these guys have had flashes. Let's see if they are able to all put it together I don't even remember where Purdue is located. Is it Purdue, Indiana? Wherever Purdue is, let's see if they can put it together. Let's see if they can put it together there. So, yeah, that's a stack that I'm looking for. Chris Moxley, give us one more.
So I like the University of Texas San Antonio, UTSA stack of Frank Harris and Zachary Franklin. Last season, they had a 46% neutral game script pass rate, which is slightly above average, but they've lost Sincere McCormick, who was their best rusher, and incredibly productive player for at least the collegiate level. They're not returning great production on defense. Their SP plus rating for Bill Connolly is 89th, and they return only 67% of their defensive production, but their offense outside of McCormick returns basically every key starter. They're also due for a lot of regression if you look at their wins. 2 of their wins were with post-game win expectancy lower than 10%, only team to do that. They won 3.3 more games based on the post-game win expectancy than any other team than was expected. So they won, I believe, 12 games. They should have won 9. If we assume that they are trailing in more of these games, I think it's a gold mine for fantasy value. So Zachary Franklin had 1,027 yards and 12 touchdowns on a 29% market share. I think he can repeat that, but with higher volume, maybe bump it up a little bit to like 1,200 and like maybe 13, 14 touchdowns. Frank Harris, I feel like, is a guy who's just totally forgotten about. He finished his QB 13 last season with over 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 556 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. If he has the ball in his hands more because they're down in more games, I think the upside is really high for him. I think he could easily finish as a top 12 quarterback this season. I think Zachary Franklin is top 12 in his range of outcomes, and neither are being drafted as if they have any sort of upside. I think that is a huge mistake. And I will also take, like I said, that Donovan Ollie and Renard Bell were dart throws for Washington State. I'll throw another dart throw on Joshua Cephas, who was the wide receiver 2 in the UTSA offense. He had over 800 yards last season. I think if they do go more pass heavy with the loss of Sincere McCormick, that he's the beneficiary. And I think that he is the potential for a 1,000-yard season. So he's a guy I like kind of in best ball formats.
I was going to say I was going to bring up Miami, but quite frankly, I don't see
which
Miami. Miami, Florida. Tyler Van Dyke.
I was going Miami, Ohio.
Pairing him with a wide receiver. But first of all, Mario Cristobal and Josh Gaddis are offense killers. And Charleston Rambo, who might be a day 3 NFL draft pick or an undrafted free agent, regardless, he was very important to their offense last year. And I just don't see an outside receiver who's going to stretch the field for them just yet. And quite frankly, I don't know that Josh Gaddis is going to ask Tyler Van Dyke to do that the way they did last year. So mine is Miles Price, slot receiver at Texas Tech, who we think is going to get the Josh Stearns role that Josh Stearns had at Western Kentucky, and then whoever the quarterback is. So that's going to be between Baron Morton, Donovan Smith, and Tyler Show. And it's funny because I guess 2 years ago now, we were asking about under-the-radar freshmen, and Alan True came on this show, and he talked about Baron Morton. Now, Baron Morton hasn't played a lot in his 2 years at Texas Tech. Donovan Smith was the starter through the end of the season, and then your boy Matt Tyler Show is there too. I don't know. I think that it's going to be Donovan Smith, even though he's the most athletic. Even though this system doesn't really ask for athleticism, I think that Donovan Smith offers the most upside of those 3, and I think that it's going to be him. So I'm going to say Miles Price and Donovan Smith.
Is Tyler Show my guy because he sucks? Like, I'm confused.
No, you were promoting Tyler Show. Weren't you promoting Tyler Show?
I've promoted Morton. I have never promoted Tyler Show. That's why I just thought that was a dig at me because I like crappy players or something. Like
I thought when he was as a freshman,
has,
you were all about Tyler Show.
No.
I gotta think of who I'm thinking about then.
I was all in on. Now I will admit it was. I'm almost positive because of Allen and Colin Decker. They were the guys who really drove me toward Baron Morton, but Baron Morton's the guy that I like from that group. Kane was a big Tyler Show guy, but not me. Anyways, I'm going to give one really quick one. Arizona, who Jaden Delora, Jacob Cowing, I think right now, I mean, they got Jeb Fisher there. Jeb Fish, it was first year as a head coach last year with a bad Arizona team. They still passed 41% of the time. But I do think that he's got some good offensive roots and being with UCLA for a couple of years and with the Rams. Jacob Cowing, you will have to pay it for him. Wide receiver 25 off the board. Jaden Delora, QB 48. But I want to add another stack in here, and I didn't grab their ADPs. Noah Fafita, who I guarantee you is not being drafted in C2C drafts, their freshman quarterback, and freshman wide receiver Tet McMillan. Both are really getting glowing reviews out of spring practice. Hey, I like Ted. There's a lot of people here who don't. I think Ted is one of the better wide receivers in this class. Noah Fafita, though, as well, getting a lot of love in spring camp right now. I don't know that he gets a starting job. I do think it's going to go to Jaden Delora. But two guys that I think you could watch. It also could be one a future pairing that I would really like to have. But the other one, I know the names sound like they're highly rated, and I think we talk about them, but they're still going late in C2C drafts, at least in my opinion, and that's Wake Forest duo Sam Hartman and A.T. Perry. Like, I don't get this at all. Sam Hartman finished as QB3 last year, and I've been doing the spring camp stuff, obviously, for the YouTube channel, and Dave Clawson just had a interview recently where he said he thinks the offense is going to be faster paced and pass more this year, because their defense just isn't where it needs to be, and that he understands that. He's okay with it. The past couple seasons, he's had a 45.6% pass rate, but it's increased every single year. 42.9 in 2019, took a dip in 2020 with COVID to 46, and then jumped all the way up to 52% last year. And I think it's going to go even higher than that. Again, Sam Hartman finished as QB3 in fantasy last year. He's going off the board right now as QB30 with an ADP of 128, and A.T. Perry is wide receiver 31 with an ADP of 104.2. Dez Williams and Jamal Banks not being drafted are two freshmen, or I don't know if they're freshmen, I know one is, who are both getting a lot of hype as well in spring camp. Like, I would be fine pairing Hartman with any of those guys. I think the fact that he's going as QB30, and I do think he's maybe not an NFL starter, but has a chance to be at least a backup in the NFL, so you're getting some kind of NFL future out of Hartman for sure. Like, that's an absolute steal. Like, you could punt the quarterback position, grab Hartman as your top quarterback at 100 in the draft, like 128. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Hartman was a value last year. I think he's going to go a little bit higher this year. But he had like 13 rushing touchdowns last year, and he is not a rushing quarterback. I'll also add that I don't think that you can really evaluate a Wake Forest's quarterback's ability to play in the NFL because of how specific that system is to Wake Forest players. So, but Jacob Cowing, you mentioned Arizona. I think I have Jacob Cowing as my wide receiver 13 overall. He is a very good player. I think he's going to be a day 2 NFL draft pick next year, and I don't think that's a hot take. Oh, he's explosive.
I actually
we're about to see.
I actually am interested in the discount here. Dorian Singer, who was a freshman last season, like, he performed really well in that offense. Like, I'm really interested in Dorian Singer as another outside option for Arizona. I mean, I like Jacob Cowing, but Dorian Singer was really good last year. And so, like, he's a guy that I'm willing to stack, like, literally last round of a C2C draft with Delora. Because, like, he way outperformed expectations. Like, I was pretty impressed with what I saw.
That is not a name that I'd heard of. So, if there's any takeaways from this show, make sure that you give Matt Bruning at Sports Fanatic MB credit for Clay Millen, okay, and give Chris Moxley credit. What's his name? I really haven't heard his name before. Dorian Singer.
Dorian Singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go look him up after the show. All right. Mike Valerie has been handling the after show Been doing a really good job with it. Mike, you want to give us a preview of what we can expect tonight? I don't even know if Mike knows that he's on camera and that it's live and that it's his. Did he even hear me? Did he? I don't know. I don't know if Mike, can you hear me? The people.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. My earbuds wasn't working. I was so confused, and I had to close out the YouTube page. All right. Anyway, yeah, it's Mike here. Okay, I just need to get my rebuttal out there. First off, this is the college debate show because I don't think they specify what's a Devy asset. They just talked about A.T. Perry, but Felix came in to save the day. But they do not specify who are actually Devy values. They're just like, this guy's going to go off. Like, why should I care about A.T. Perry? Why should who's a fifth year next year? By the way? Let's just throw that out there. And no, because you didn't include that. You're not giving it the full context. But like A.T. Perry is going to go off. But anyway, also, no one asked, but my wide receiver stacks are going to be Clayton Tune and Nathaniel Dell. Clayton Tune had 300-yard games out of his last 5. He's going to go nuclear. He literally just got 2 studs out of freshman. I don't know the camp reports. I'm actually catching up on all of Matt's stuff. Very excited about all that. And then my other pick is Dylan Goffney and Preston Stone because you'll have that stack for like 2-3 years guaranteed. All right. Anyway, the after show, which is why I'm here. Okay. We're gonna have Colin.
You're right. No one asked about your stats. Go ahead with the after show.
Colin Stone. Colin Stone is a high school friend. I don't know why I said Stone. I don't know why they came in my head. Colin from Campus to Canton will be on the after show. Very.
You know Colin's last name? You don't know Colin's last name, do you?
I don't.
It's the only one I don't know. His handle. It's literally in his handle.
I don't know his handle. He's never on Twitter.
He doesn't know Colin's last name.
I'm about to look. No.
I mean, in fairness, outside of Austin, Mike doesn't give 2 shits about the rest of us. So, I mean,
it's
Decker.
Okay, first off,
just know Colin's here. So we'll help you out. So before Colin gets here, it's Decker. There you go. That way you can.
I saw it in the chat. Okay, Colin Decker. Okay, very excited. We're gonna have a lot of fun the after show. Okay, just come on by.
And this might be the last day Mike's employed at C2C. So,
check out Mike in the after show. Check out Mike's Devy Freshman Dart Throws Part 2 on the website right now. And, of course, check out all of the content around the Campus to Canton family. You can find this podcast on the Campus to Canton channel along with Canton Bound, Campus Life, Fantasy Roundtable. Matthew, have you been putting Fantasy Roundtable on the C2C channel?
That'd be
you haven't,
thing, sir.
No, you haven't. You can all right. You can find Chasing the Natty, future freshman, Devy debate. What am I forgetting? Campus Life and Canton Bound.
Campus Life.
The official is on the YouTube page. The official is on the YouTube page.
All right. You've got the daily draft report and spring reports drop as well.
There's so much. I got to change this. I got to change the show sheet here to update.
I'm going to tell everybody right now that Felix is not going to do well in the after show. You'll have to stick around for why.
All right. That's going to be our show for tonight. Apologies to Kirk Herbstreit, who ran out of time. We'll get him rescheduled soon. For Matt Bruning and Chris Moxley, I'm Felix Sharp. Good night and good luck.
I enjoyed that show. I thought that was one of our better shows recently.
I think it's better when we interrupt each other.
There was a little bit of break there that you kind of like lost me a little bit. I was kind of like, the behind the scene curtains, the behind the curtains thing.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm glad that
most fun.
I'm glad that our audience is just Mike. So
I'm just giving you honest feedback.
Can we get Colin in here or what?
Well, it's Mike's show. You got to let Mike do it. Mike is the host.
I didn't bring him in.
We are not driving.
Okay, in all fairness, it's kind of hard to tell when it starts and when it ends. All right. Introducing the guest to the show, Colin Decker, as I'm told. Colin is the main behind-the-scenes guy for Campus to Kin. So if you don't recognize his last name because you don't see him around a lot, it's understandable.
I feel like everyone knows his last name but you.
Yeah, it's in my Twitter handle. It's in my Discord name. But
you're not
Colin Stone here. What's up, everybody?
I don't feel like you're on that often on Twitter. I don't feel like I see a lot of your stuff. I really don't. I don't know why.
No, you're absolutely right. I don't really tweet all that often. I am in the Discord.
Colin, you don't have to defend yourself.
Maybe if you were in there more.
Yeah, you really don't have to defend yourself. When I had my stuff going on and everybody was talking about it, Mike found out like 3 weeks later after he roasted me in a meeting for me not being there because I was taking care of some stuff. And then he just quietly is like, oh shit, I didn't realize what was going on.
Is Mike, he's in his own little world. The new Alfred?
Yes,
Don't
definitely.
associate
Okay,
me with that guy.
whoa. Can we talk real quick before we get into Mike's portion? Austin is out here commenting from the start of the show to the bottom of the show, and he's too busy to show up. What's up with
He's on a yacht.
That's not even,
he
that's not even the
probably
worst.
doesn't have his laptop and his mic.
Okay, but that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that he's driving while he's commenting.
Driving to the Croatian
to the yacht. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Yeah.
Wait.
He probably has to go through Slovenia.
Why is it Croatia?
That's where all the rich people go.
Okay.
The Croatian beaches.
Dubai.
They're the best in the world. No, Croatia's beaches are the best in the world.
Maybe I don't
I'm
aim high.
just asking questions. I'm just asking questions about. We've been missing Austin. I miss the beautiful insights that he provides, and so I just miss him. I just trying to cope with it, I guess, in a different sort of way.
Yeah, we haven't heard him talk about Cedric Tillman in a while, so
hopefully his ADP stays suppressed.
I just wanted on record though. I was the first one who talked about Cedric Tillman. I got the receipts. You can check it out in the
Colin,
bowl preview.
I feel like you're the first to talk about a lot of players, and then Austin.
He never gets any credit. Colin never gets credit.
Just Austin.
All right, Colin. What would you like to take credit for that Austin has stolen from you?
Chris, you have to let Mike drive.
Sorry.
No. I'm actually so I'm gonna blank here right now for everyone not knowing because I'm actually feeling a little under the weather. So I'm actually gonna cut it a little bit short here. So I'm very sorry, guys. But so just
make some cold and flu tea.
Well. I guess.
Oh.
God.
What is happening?
YouTube is going to copyright us again.
That's what's happening. We're getting copyrighted again.
Yep.
Is he?
Okay, everybody, welcome to the after game show. This is oh my god, I forgot. This is Mudslide Mike. Okay,
name.
We got our contestants here. We got Tsunami Sharp. We got Category 5 Colin. We got Avalanche Matt, and we got Cyclone Chris. Okay, we're gonna do a game show here.
Mike is in a purple suit with a blue tie and yellow shirt.
Okay, I really want to understand. I want to know why Felix and Colin's names kind of like were good, and then you just kind of like threw mine and Moxley's together.
Avalanche.
Oh my goodness.
There is not a single there's not a single natural disaster that starts with an M or a B. Okay,
a B
for Bruning.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going with Mox because you said
Cyclone
Chris.
Yeah, Cyclone Chris. Maybe I could have done carbon monoxide Moxley. I don't know. You're ruining it. You guys are ruining the flow. You're ruining the flow. Welcome to the game show, okay? And first off, that was not copyrighted. I literally searched up royalty-free music on YouTube. You're welcome. All right.
He deserves a round of applause for that because he got you guys.
A plus.
All right. I prepped this for weeks, by the way. This has been weeks in the making. Felix can back me up. All right. The categories are going to be C2C knowledge, as in company knowledge. We're going to do friend to founder. That's going to be the third category. And we're going to just do Canton knowledge, mostly draft stuff because that's what's coming up. So 3 categories. There will be a winner. There is a prize. I'll tell you at the end what the prize is. It's going to be great. And shall we begin? Are you gentlemen ready to debate?
Let's do it.
All right. I'm ready.
The first category is going to be C2C knowledge because I just want to know if you guys know. Now, I don't know how to determine how to put in your answers, so we're going to start off clockwise. And everybody, we're going to do the honor system here, and don't change your vote after I ask the question. All right? The first question, which I'm going to start with Felix. Whose idea was it to start Campus to Canton?
It was Colin and Austin's idea. I mean, they were the original 2, and then the group just kind of just got bigger from them 2. But they were the ones who had the seed.
Okay, sir. Chris, just a name. I don't need an explanation.
What is Colin?
Okay. Matt?
I believe it was Colin as well.
Colin, who was it?
This is definitely a trick question. But Me.
Okay. Everyone got that answer correct. That is what the other founders said, except for Jarek, who can't text me back. But that's okay. That's okay.
Wait,
Jarek's
how
on
did Felix get
vacation.
credit? How did Felix get credit for duo answers? But we all answered it correctly.
He said Colin. I've gotten some that I had like one guy, I don't want to say who, said Colin and Austin, but someone else said just Colin. So
Was it Felix?
Did
that
his
said
name
Colin or
rhyme
Austin?
with Smoston?
I can't say. Okay, next question. I'm actually gonna go to Chris Moxley here. We're going in order. Who was Campus to Canton's first contributor?
I think it was me.
All right, Matt. Who was it?
It was Moxley.
Colin.
Yeah, Mox.
Felix.
Yeah, I advocated for him. I was the first one to have Mox on a podcast, and I was
Cold shower Chris.
I was the biggest advocate for Moxley.
All right, Felix always giving the background story. That's nice. That's correct for everybody. Everyone's all tied up at 2. Okay, next question is, when was Campus to Canton launched? We're going to start off with Matt.
Shit. March 1st, 2021.
All right, Colin.
Yeah, March 1st, 2021.
Felix.
March 1st. This is an easy question. March 1st, 2021.
Yeah, we're going March 1st, 2021.
All right, I'm trying to find something. Sorry. It's lost.
But the host who loses in the middle of his hosting duties.
something, man.
That's yeah, I can filibuster for you while Mike is in his Joker suit. He looks like a Joker that doesn't have the actual Warner Brothers licensing deal. That's what.
Okay, that's not true. Everybody has to now check out the live stream. Okay, it's on YouTube. Go subscribe while you're there. Okay, first off, the shirt is yellow. Okay, the jacket is blue. I got a pocket square looking real nice. It's Keelan theme. You can't see the details, and
it looks
the tie is blue.
It looks purple and green, to be honest with you.
It's got chickens and magnets.
You do look like the Heath Ledger Joker.
But like a very.
But it's not a compliment. Poor... Yeah, it's not a compliment.
That's messed up. You'll be hearing from HR.
Chris is HR.
Yeah,
is that a question? This should have been a question.
That's terrible.
That would have been a tough one.
Everyone's all tied up here. The next question is going to be, and am I starting with Colin on this one? How many contributors does C2C currently have? And now if you're confused by what I'm asking how many are in the company Slack?
Okay. In the company Slack. 24. 23 because Campus to Canton is in there once.
Okay, Felix.
I mean, I'm gonna go with 23 too, but I would not if Colin Stone did not go first, I would not know.
Such a liar.
So if we're talking contributors,
exactly,
I'm gonna go 16 because there are 23 distinct entities in the chat, but there are 16 different contributors to the website. But
as a host, you should have done a better job of clarifying that question because you said contributors, but then you said how many are in the Slack channel. So, like, are you asking how many people are in the Slack channel or just contributors? Because contributors is 16.
Yes,
because there's 8 founders, there's 8 of us that are not technically contributors.
Okay, the answer was 24 because the founders do contribute to the website, do they not?
No,
then there's 23.
We do.
That's obvious.
Not contributors, though.
Because Campus
not
to Canton.
Yeah, it's also 23.
Yeah.
Campus to Canton.
23. Sorry, I meant to say 23. Yeah. I'm sorry. But anyway, you guys are still wrong. Yeah. We're moving on. I'm sorry. It's not.
Did anyone get points for that?
Technically, Felix and Colin
should have, since
it said 23.
That's bullshit. What? That's bullshit.
I agree, it's bullshit because we're not contributors. But again, this is horrible hosting. But continue. Next question.
The next question.
Okay,
the next question. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Oh. This guy.
Yeah, I'll call it.
Is this after show gate? Like.
Yeah.
All right, Felix. This actually happens to be ironically whatever. I'm gonna skip over you, Felix. I'm sorry. I'm gonna come back to you last. You'll know why. Chris, when was Felix Sharp's last article?
Oh God.
Dude, how would I? Do I need a date or
we
do
will
I
go
like
off,
a month?
We will go off a month, and if there's a tie, I will ask for the day.
December 2021.
Okay, Matt.
Shit, it's definitely December or November. I'm gonna go December too.
Okay, Colin.
Man, that's tough. I want to say December 2, but I feel like he put something out in January. I feel like it hasn't been that long.
Oh,
I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna
Austin's
say
only commenting in the
January.
channel with the answers, so that's not helping.
Wow. Yeah, Austin is not
I'm
helping
gonna.
anyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna say January. Yeah. Well,
of course you're gonna say January. It's right there.
Yes.
I actually didn't see that there, but
all right. In fairness, is it my turn now?
It is your turn.
In fairness, I have been writing one article for like 3 months. As a matter of fact, I had submitted it to Dwight, and then I said, "No, let me. I need to work on that some more." So, but I think it's whenever Jahmyr Gibbs would have. Wait, I don't know if I wrote the freshman article after the Jahmyr Gibbs article. So I think the freshman article would have been the last one. So I think that's I guess that's January.
Okay.
That's when I would have started looking at the freshmen.
I'm going to be straight with you. I just searched your name on Campus Can website, and the latest one that pops up is December. So
Which one is that, though? Which one is that?
No. Now I got to go by the day. Chris Moxley, you said December 22nd, correct?
I didn't give a date, so I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Price is Right it and go the 20th, just to go lower.
Hey, that's just how it goes, and it's going to be December 15th. So that answer goes to Matt.
I'll take my point.
Okay, well, hold on. He got to put his bid in after I already put my bid.
I would have done it after you anyway, so it doesn't matter. You went first.
This is incredibly rigged.
Okay. Also, do we call?
Ask Dwight. I have submitted this article and then I took it back from him, and I've been tweeting.
Doesn't matter. It's not on the site. That's what Mike said. It's got to be on the site.
Yeah, I don't even know if you're even contributing if you're doing it once every 4 months.
Listen, I have had to do rankings. We had to write a whole guide. Okay, I got these little kids running around here.
And in fairness, he has an article December 13th, 15th, and 21st. And
21st.
So then me and Mike should both get one. Yeah.
It is
we
the
should both
21st.
get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should both.
Okay, we're moving on to section 2. Section 2 is.
I got Mike. Did you hear that? I got a point for that.
We're deferring to the host, Chris Moxley. You need to work on that.
Just this is now just we are about 30% in. Everyone's tied at 4 except for Cyclone Chris. And please refer to your real names, not Chris Moxley. It's Cyclone Chris.
Okay, Cyclone Chris got a point for the last one in case.
Category 5, Colin, and Avalanche Matt. All right. The next one, I will go now to Felix first because I skipped over him. What is Chris Moxley's favorite IPA? Oh, the section, by the way, I'm sorry for everybody. It's founder to friend. So it's.
I have no idea.
I like this segment title, by the way.
No, I wouldn't even be able to. If you help, I mean, I don't even know. I have no idea.
Moxley, you have to skip over this one. I'm sorry, but
you might as well just skip me too. I have no idea.
This guy talks about IPA all the time.
Can I answer at the end?
Well, I thought he was more of a gin guy. Like, he's always making mixed drinks, posting these very elegantly made mixed drinks. I didn't really know he was a beer connoisseur as well.
Wow, you don't even know him at all.
We have conversations about gin, like I said. But I'm going to say Goose Island 60 Minute, and I know it's wrong.
Okay. Moxley, can you please announce the answer?
The answer is Burial Finite Spectrum of Existence Triple IPA.
I mean, just kill me. I don't even know.
I would have taken any one of the words in the title, except for the IPA portion. But anyway, all right. The next one is going to be everyone's favorite Devy listener. It's going to be about Alfred. Where is Alfred from? And we will start with Chris on this one.
Where does he live currently, or where is he from?
Where does he live currently? We'll take state, and if it's a major city, we're going to take the major city.
What's Alfred's address?
Can I go last because I know the answer?
I mean, okay, sure. Why not? Okay,
Matt. Cool.
Shit, I know this. He's in Atlanta, somewhere by Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know the exact address, but it's got to be right.
Don't give me the exact address. No one go stalk him. Just give me the city.
We just dox Alfred on here.
God, yeah. All right, Colin.
I know it's Georgia. I know it's near Atlanta too. I'll say Smyrna, Georgia, just to be different.
Okay, Felix.
I mean, I know I was in Atlanta and I was like, I'm gonna come see you, and I didn't. So I know it's Atlanta.
All right, Chris.
Yeah,
Cyclone
I'm pretty
Chris?
sure it's. I'm pretty confident it's Smyrna.
He told me it was Atlanta. So everyone that said Atlanta got it right.
I'm
And
pulling
that
his
is-
address.
Whoa!
I'm sorry.
Your bonus points on air if we drop his address. I know what it is. It is 3, 4, 1. Never mind.
We're gonna keep moving on.
I can't say that word on air. Never mind.
Just to confirm, that was Tsunami Sharp and Avalanche Matt that got Atlanta right. No, Sharp did not. Tsunami Sharp did not.
City he lives in. This is
Okay.
This is bullshit. I don't enjoy this game.
We're gonna skip Felix. You will not be answering this question, and we'll start with Chris Moxley here. What college team did Tsunami Sharp play for?
Oh, Grand Valley State.
All right,
Grand Valley State.
almost messed it up. Category 5, Colin.
Yeah, Grand Valley State.
All right, that's ones across the board. Got to update the score sheet. All right.
It was actually the University of Michigan. No, I'm just playing.
The University of Alabama, starting safety.
We will start off with Colin. We're skipping Matt here. Colin, how many kids does Matt have?
2.
All right. Tsunami Sharp.
Yeah, it's 2.
It's
Cyclone Chris.
Yeah, 2.
All right, Matt, is that correct?
No, I have 3. Thank you, gentlemen, very
No, you
much.
doesn't. No, he
Yes,
doesn't.
I do. Would you like to
What
see
are
the
their
pictures
names?
of my kids?
What are their names?
Grayson, Braden, and Jaden.
You just made the last
You
one
just
up.
made it.
You just made Jaden
I
up.
only have 2.
Just made it.
No chance.
Also, I have the docs here. Alfred is definitely from Smyrna.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
He
I-
told Mike Atlanta. That's all that
That's
matters.
what he told me.
I actually
That's what he
confirmed
told
it
Mike.
in our membership data too. Alfred lives in Smyrna, and I'm not going to give away his
Look at the
address, but it
membership
is
data.
Smyrna.
I could.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
could
Just
if
give
we
away
wanted
the-
to.
Just say the street. Just say the street, and then
Mosswood
house
Lane.
number.
I'm not trying to get his
Golly,
house.
golly, jeez, you're gonna get Alfred's stock now, man.
Okay,
There's
we're moving on. We got to move on. We got to move on.
Just based on the house number, there's a lot of houses on that lane.
Okay, the last question here for Friends to Founder is gonna be the 10th planet in the solar system, which is going to be Austin's cat's name. And we will start off with Felix.
That's a funny comment from Todd. Rename the show Address Debate. I don't know. I can't. I know that. So Austin has 2 Twitter handles, and one is him hiding behind his cat, which is just a weird.
Well, I didn't even
photo.
see Austin in the photo then.
Did you know? Because you can see his face behind the photo. Does everybody know this, that Austin has 2 Twitter handles?
Can you? Give
We're out
his
here
address,
doxing
too?
everybody.
Yeah, can we give away his address?
Can we move along here, Tsunami Sharp?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's probably something rich and fancy. So
Just say Fluffy then or something. I don't know.
I believe it's 6-9 Caviar Lane, but I can't confirm that.
For the cat name?
No, Austin's address.
Yeah, also
Okay.
I think it's 6-9
Sir,
Caviar
please,
Lane.
we have moved on to Austin's cat name.
So I believe the 10th planet in the solar system is Eris. So if we're going with the 10th planet in the solar system, I believe
Cyclone Chris, I need you to get together, all right? The IPAs are hidden. I need you to focus on the show.
I just answered the question.
Okay.
I said the 10th planet of the solar system is Eris, and if that's what his cat's name is, then it's Eris.
Okay, we're gonna move on to Matt.
I feel like
Avalanche
this is
Matt.
wrong, but is it Bailey?
All right, moving on to category 5. Colin, I gotta get it together.
Yeah, I know this one. Misty is a very lovely cat, and not in any way too large.
That is correct. The name, its longer name is Mistletoe. So I would have taken either answer,
Oh,
but it's
I actually didn't
Mistletoe.
know that. I've known that cat
never-
for.
It was a gift from Christmas, not from me because I'm a dog person, the superior pet species.
The 10th planet of the solar system is called Mistletoe?
Mistletoe.
Yeah, yes, it is. All right,
I don't
so
think that's actually true. I think that.
all right, we're moving on to the final round. Okay, The winner of the last round was going to be Cyclone Chris. Oh, no, I messed it up. Category 5, Colin, with 3.
Yeah, there we go.
You guys are not good friends. We'll correct that at the expo this year, believe it or not.
And I'm going to put an asterisk by that because I should have 4 because that address was.
Yeah, Alfred lived in Smyrna, by the way.
Whatever. We're moving on. All right. The next one's going to be, now we're going to go to some.
Wouldn't that be crazy if anybody who listens to this, because we know Alfred is not going to listen to this, if they just like.
Well, he listens to this now.
He listens to the after show, I think.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's Mike. It's Mike. Mike is worth listening to.
There's
I have a
way
follower.
Alfred listens to the Alfred show.
I'm going to shout out to AA Star.
He did once. I know he did once because he tweeted at me. But I think that's his. That should have been a question: is when's the last time Alfred actually listened or read any of the content on the website? That would have been a good question.
Never.
Once.
Okay.
Never.
Okay, we're gonna move on to football stuff here. Okay, a little bit more Devy debate, like how you guys like to get. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I actually made it two categories, but I just thought I should make it football knowledge in general. So we're gonna go at the some recruit knowledge because that's what's kind of going on for a lot of you guys. The last 24/7 composite wide receiver 1 to be fantasy relevant was from 2015 Calvin Ridley. I mean fantasy relevant, I mean a top 24 option. Just one single top 24 season, but he was also wide receiver 1 in his draft class. Who was wide receiver designated the last one before him? So who from an earlier class was a fantasy top 24 option in the NFL?
And was wide receiver 1 in that class?
Correct. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm taking the name and then we'll do the tiebreaker of the class.
See, he said designated, so that implies that this player may not have played wide receiver in the NFL. So who made the switch from like wide receiver? Is that what you're saying?
Ryan Tannehill.
Just to clarify, there's some
Ryan, he
labeled
was-
athlete and some labeled wide receiver. So I had to go with just the wide receiver.
But what position did they play in the NFL? Wide receiver?
Wide receiver, yes, correct. Wide receiver. Okay, so we'll start with Felix Sharp. Oh man, I'm messing that up. Tsunami Sharp.
Tsunami technically starts with a C or T, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but it sounds like an S. That's the closest thing I got.
When was Calvin Ridley? 2014?
I mean, you're the expert.
Are we going back to 2000? Is it either like Mike
I thought
Evans or
Ridley was
Odell
15.
Beckham?
Sir,
I'm going
I
to
just
say
want
it's
an answer.
Mike Evans or Odell Beckham, but I don't think Mike Evans would have been the number 1 or Odell would have been the number
You got to
1.
pick one. You don't have to give me the year now. You can just give me the name and we'll go a year later if we got a tiebreaker.
Mike Evans.
All right, Chris. Cyclone Chris.
Sammy Watkins.
Oh,
Okay.
24? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
We're going to go with Avalanche Matt.
Got no idea. Finished as a wide receiver 1.
No. He finished as a top 24 option, but was the wide receiver 1 coming out of high school. So going into college.
I don't think he did it, but Laquan Treadwell. He was listed as a wide receiver, so whatever. He was the top wide receiver. Bucket.
Category 5, Colin.
Man, I'm stuck between 2 here. I want to see either Julio or AJ Green. I don't know which one would have been wide receiver 1 in that class. I'm going to say Julio.
The correct answer was Julio Jones. Did you want to guess the year too?
That was a good guess. Yeah.
What year did he get drafted? He was drafted in like 2011.
Sorry, I don't mean.
No. Oh, actually, I don't know his draft year. Sorry, I was going off his high school year. So
high school year would have been 2008.
2007. It's close. Yes. So Calvin Ridley was 2015, and the reason why I had to get the wide receiver designator was because Bobby Trees was an athlete, and he was from 2010. So that's why I said wide receiver. I don't know. So I don't want to cause confusion there. All right, next question, and we'll start off with Chris Moxley here. Who was the passing yard leader of 2019?
In college? In
Yes,
pros or
college.
what?
College. Sorry, college. Good question for college. Thank you.
2019.
Cyclone Chris.
I'll guess Kyler Murray, but it's probably some G5 dude.
2019. That's Joe Burrow. That's national championship year, isn't it?
For the
It has to
passing
be Joe
yard
Burrow.
leader.
It's 100%. It's 100% Joe
Burrow.
Burrow.
It's got to be
It's
Joe Burrow.
100% Joe Burrow.
Oh, I got the
No,
arrow.
wait.
Category 5, Colin like to give his answer.
Gardner Minshew.
Okay. All these answers are incorrect. No points are awarded. It's Anthony Gordon.
Oh, I had the right school. Damn. Wrong
Anthony
year.
Gordon.
Washington
You guys need
State.
What?
I forgot.
Okay.
All right. You guys don't know much football, I see. Let me keep
I
going.
knew it was a Mike Leach quarterback.
Okay. We're going to go to the backup that somehow has a job consistently every year. I have no idea why. His name is Tim Boyle. And I'm asking, what is his college touchdown to interception ratio? And
2 touchdowns, 24
Whoa.
interceptions. Oh, I thought I was next. I'm
Okay, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Avalanche,
my
Matt.
bad.
Just barreling in here.
Avalanche. Yeah,
Like
he's just
an
dropping in
avalanche.
on us like an avalanche.
it's bad. So 2 touchdowns, like 24 interceptions.
So that would be like whatever 1/12 is. That's just like less than 10%. Okay. All right. Category 5, Colin.
Yeah, I remember it's really bad. I want to say 5 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
Okay. Tsunami Sharp. Hope you're not looking up stuff on your phone and cheating.
No, I'm. Trust me, I'm not looking up anything related to football on my phone. What was the question?
Oh my God.
No.
That's a skip.
He's even a Detroit Lion. Last time I checked. Okay.
What was
anyway.
the question? What was the question?
The question is Tim Boyle, backup quarterback extraordinaire. I think he's probably the biggest con artist in the NFL. What was his total career
Touchdown to interception ratio?
Touchdown to interception ratio.
2 to 4.
Okay. All right.
So the ratio would be 1 to 2.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. We're moving on to Cyclone Chris.
Sorry, I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah, it's way worse than that. It's like 3 to 15 or something like that.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Category 5, Colin is sweeping these right now. It was 4 to 10, and he did 5 to 11, so he was close. Yeah. It's for everyone listening. Tim Boyle's career passing yards was 1,299 career passing yards, and his career touchdowns was 4, and his career interceptions was 10. Somehow has had multiple backup jobs in the NFL. No idea. Biggest con artist. All right. Next question. Tyreek Hill, the outlier extraordinaire in all statistics. He played 1 season at the FBS level. That's Power 5 and G5. I got that right? Because I always mix those 2 up. It's FBS. Okay, thank you.
You got it.
Category 5, Colin. What school did he play for 1 season?
Oklahoma State.
Okay, Felix, Tsunami Sharp, Tyreek Hill.
Oh yeah, Oklahoma State. He was a running back. He was a running back at Oklahoma State. I just looked this tape up recently.
Why, to make sure he was fast?
No, because I wanted to see how he looked, to see if I could how would I know? Like, how would you have noticed Tyreek Hill
outlier
prioritized him?
Yeah.
Right. No.
All right. We're gonna go to Cyclone Chris.
Yeah, it was Oklahoma State, but I can also give you the 2 teams he played at a community college.
Wasn't the question, but thank you.
I believe he played at Cart.
Very cool. Very cool.
Well, no, I am.
Cool.
I'm overperforming.
Avalanche
Garden
Matt,
City
please.
So I'm going to go with Oklahoma State because I don't even know what the question is, but I also want to clarify something really quick. Joe Burrow in 2019, 5,671 passing yards. Anthony Gordon, 5,579. I'm confused at how Anthony Gordon had more. Doesn't matter. That's still part of the season. Still part of the season.
Yeah, it was off regular season. So I'm sorry.
You didn't specify regular season. You said who was the passing leader. You're the
didn't
host.
ask.
You have to clarify those things.
And in the words of my drill sergeant, my bad, your fault. We're going to keep moving on. Everybody got points for Oklahoma State.
I'm going to steal that, by the way.
That's okay. That's good. Everyone else is finally on the board after Category 5. Chris has been running shop here in this category. All right, we're moving on to the to more draft-oriented stuff, okay? Everybody's favorite flashy stat is, avoided tackles. Most, or as designated in PFF, missed tackles forced, I'm going off of PFF stats here. Now the question is, which consensus top 15 wide receiver? Please don't overthink this. I'm just trying to limit it down the numbers for you. Which consensus top 15 wide receiver in the draft had the least number of missed tackles forced?
Oh, Chris Olave is 0.
Okay, Felix. Okay, next is going to be.
Yeah, I agree. It's Chris Olave.
All right, is Matt going to come back for this one, or are we just going to keep going over? Avalanche Matt?
Nah,
you're going to drop in on us?
The evil mustache on.
All right, category 5. Colin, what's your answer?
Knowing you, I do want to say Chris Olave. So I will also say Chris Olave.
Okay, all three of you are correct. The tiebreaker now is going to be the actual number of how many tackles he avoided.
0.
Okay.
0.
Okay, Matt's back. Just 1 sec. All right, this guy, Avalanche Matt, just choosing when to drop in. He's eating food. Matt, the question was, which consensus top 15 wide receiver, don't overthink it, in this upcoming draft class has the least amount of missed tackles forced? Just, flashy stat, doesn't indicate success, but, according to PFF, which one is it?
Chris Olave.
Okay. All right. All 4 across the board. Okay. Felix had 0. Chris, what's your number here?
3.
Can I go last? Because I know the answer.
All right, sure. Why not? Category 5, Colin?
Yeah, I want to say 0 as well. If it's the lowest, then it's got to be 0.
All right. And Chris says, yep, that's correct. The answer is 1. He has 1 missed tackle forced on the entire season. Man just catches and fall down. If we want to put him in their top 5, that's up to them. All right, move on. We'll move on. Which tight end? This is going to be an easy one. I'm sorry. I don't even know why I put this one in here. I think I was running out of material here. Which tight end had the highest RAS score in this draft class? And I'll start off with category 5, Colin.
I want to say Jelani Woods.
All right. Tsunami Sharp.
It's not only is it Jelani Woods, but he has had the highest RAS score since Anthony. Shoot, the old. It's a Chiefs tight end that never did anything.
Back.
Anthony Fasano. Is it Anthony Fasano? I think it's
Anthony Fasano.
He has
a Chiefs tight end.
He has a 10 RAS score right now. Jelani Woods does.
All right, and then Cyclone
It's
Chris.
Jelani Woods.
All right, that's right across the board for everybody. Is anyone actually excited about him as an NFL prospect?
I think he could be fine.
As a fun day 3 guy, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a dart
that.
throw on him, but I think the athleticism is going to get him too hyped for him to be like an actual dart throw.
Okay. Thank you. I have to address something in the chat. Kyle C is coming at me. The stats are off PFF. Okay. It's 3 seasons at UConn, 1 season at, let me see, was it Eastern Kentucky? Eastern Kentucky. He had 3 touchdowns, Eastern Kentucky, 1 interception. This is also including postseason, by the way. And then, yeah, just go look at it. That's up to you,
So we
bro.
pick and choose
Anyway.
when we're using postseason stats around here. I got you.
You didn't specify.
Yeah, this whole thing has been a
This is
straw.
ridiculous.
You guys are just mad that
How
category
much
5
longer
Colin.
is this crappy game show going on? Because it is 10 o'clock.
yeah,
now.
This is
My
a
kids
fantastic
are-
more
and
questions.
My
Four
kids
more
are running
questions.
around. Let's speed
Mike,
this
you're
up a
doing a
little bit here,
fantastic
You're
Mike.
gonna
job.
put one down and lower the number of kids?
Yeah,
Anyway.
let's-
You're doing a great job.
You're doing great,
sweetie.
sweetie. But let's speed this up.
Great, sweetie.
All right. In the quarterback class of 2022 of guys that matter, so I didn't look deep into the class. The ones that matter in 2022, which one has the most fumbles? We'll start off with category 5, Colin.
Most fumbles.
Most fumbles.
That's so easy, Colin.
Kenny Pickett, baby hands?
Okay.
No, it's probably
no. Oh. Next. All right. Category Tsunami Sharp.
Carson, you know what? Well, Bailey Zappi.
All right. Cyclone. Nope. I messed
Does
it
Bailey
up. I think I did.
Zappi matter?
Nope. Cyclone Chris.
Yeah, it's Kenny Pickett.
All right. Next is
I'm
going to be.
pretty sure it's Kenny Pickett.
It's Sam Howell. Oh, I'm talking. Oh,
What data are you
I-
loking at, by the way?
PFF.
Like, that's
PFF.
just so...
I didn't have a lot of time to prep for the show. I'm gonna be straight up, and I went to the one-stop shop area.
Kenny
talking about
Pickett has
just for this-
23 turnover. In his
I should have
last,
specified
3 years.
for the final season. I should have specified 2021. I'm sorry. I know. I won't count it. That's my bad. I
My
will not
God,
count
this
that
is
one.
the You better
This is-
be, you gotta be
this-
better than this, Mike.
I'm
We hand this
sorry.
whole show off to you, and like this has just been completely.
I feel I've gotten like 7 questions
Okay,
right. that
I
you
am not
discounted
apologizing
being
for
wrong.
the
Mike,
show.
you're
I'm
doing-
apologizing for the one question.
You're doing a great job, Mike.
Yeah,
Don't
these
let them
Ohio
take
State
Colin's
guys.
first
All right,
guest appearance on the
Colin,
after show.
You
is
guys
just
are
completely
assholes.
bungled.
Mike's doing a
Guys.
great job.
Yeah,
Thank you,
you.
Felix.
Thank you.
Colin's doing a great job.
Thank you,
my
Chris.
my last question too was a special shout out for Chris. I might have to erase that one. I'm not sure. It really was.
No,
We
wait,
have
wait,
three
wait,
more
wait,
questions.
Mike, you're doing great, sweetie. You're doing great, sweetie.
Appreciate it. All right, we'll start off with Matt here. In the 2021 season, so this final season, the most recent season of college football, which top 10 consensus running back? Again, don't overthink it. Okay, please don't pull out some random guy like Joshua Corbin. Okay, which consensus top 5 running back allowed the highest pressure rate in pass blocking?
Does
in
this
who sucks at pass
include
blocking?
playoffs in case they were in there? Just to clarify, I'm gonna guess
Right. I'm looking for a
Ripping.
percentage. I'm
But
looking for
I
a
know-
There
percentage.
is there a running back? who
no,
in
I
the
was being
playoffs?
smart ass Felix. Oh, I don't know percentage. The highest percentage. I don't know,
highest rate.
25%.
No.
No,
Give
the
me the running
player.
back name. Give me the
Oh,
player.
I said
name.
Isaiah Spiller already. Then you came in with percentages after I gave a name.
I just want to clarify so you didn't
Okay.
yell at me later. Okay, please don't yell.
Spiller.
All right. Category 5, Colin.
The consensus top 5's throwing me a little bit because
I say consensus top 10. Just
No, there's a consensus top 3, but like the other.
please don't
ones are-
overthink this.
no.
Please
But
don't overthink this.
I'm gonna say Brees Hall.
All right.
Brees Hall. That's all I'm going to say. Mike, you better land this fucking plane.
There's snakes on the plane. There's snakes on the plane. I can't do anything about it. Please,
Can I-
Cyclone. I just want to move on
I
to the
g-
question now at this point.
I gotta differentiate myself. So can I say like Kenneth Walker or something?
That's
Like, I
fine.
think
You guys
he's-
are all wrong, so don't worry about it. The answer was Brian Robinson. He gave up a 30.3%
Top five.
fresh.
Top five.
That's what I'm
What
saying.
is
like
he
top
top
5.
5 for?
I said
What
top
are you
10.
talking about?
I said top
Mike
10. I
took-
said please don't overthink it. I said top 10.
Mike took Brian Robinson's mom's ranks.
Oh, did you guys want to know? It's a